1,000 welcomes. Welcome back to From Broken to Worlds, where I try to train myself from being in a state of injury to competing in the Highland Games World Championship in 2027. My name is Justin Wishart, and this is Wild Throws Country. So today was a grind. I didn't sleep too well last night. I kept waking up. I had weird dreams. Not too sure what the deal was there. I actually dreamed about working out in a really crappy gym. It's actually a really crappy gym that costs a lot of money that some guy was putting together. And that was part of I was going back to college. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Point is, as I had a sleep that wasn't the best, so my actual lifts went well. My chin-ups didn't, as you'll see. That's okay. I'm happy to have done it. I was debating whether to skip today and then do it tomorrow. I decided to stop being a wuss and just getting it done. And so my top set of the deadlift here coming up here is 395. And I was pretty happy with how it moved, so good for that. Yeah, and so sometimes you have to debate whether, if you're not recovered well, sometimes it is better to skip a day. Not to skip a day, but delay the day is probably a better way of doing it. And with having a home gym, I'm able to just delay a day. So instead of my skipping and moving on in the program, I just do it the next day and then have my day off, day on, day off routine that I've been having. But then sometimes if you're on the borderline, I would say, generally speaking, error on the side of doing the training, because every time you delay a day, you're kind of missing out on a potential, or you're working out less overall if you think of it over a year. If I delayed, let's say 10 times in a year, that's 10 training sessions that I don't do during that year. And over time, that builds up. So it's better if you're kind of on the borderline. If it ends up being an actual debate, that it is better, typically speaking, to just do the training on that day. At least that's what my advice would be. Now, some days you wake up and you're just like, your body's just telling you for sure it ain't a good idea to train that day. And I've had those days. Those days feel a little bit different than the debate days that I had this morning. And as you can see, I made all my lifts except for my chin-ups went down a bit. When I was doing these bench presses, it was the third set of 5, that I started really feeling the tiredness creep in. But leading up to that, I was feeling pretty decent, good enough anyways. And good news is my shoulder that has been bugging me for a while seems to be bugging me less. The problem's still there, so I'm going to continue with the forward plan that I have on the go right now, which includes these bench presses. Instead of using a regular barbell, I'm using a neutral grip barbell. That seems to be a little bit easier on my shoulders. So I've been doing that. And then on the shoulder press, I've been alternating between heavy and light day. Light day, I've been doing the axle bar. I think my first move back, if I were to go back, is to return to a regular barbell and do that instead of this neutral grip bar, and then keep the heavy and light for the shoulder presses. going because I think that feels really nice on my shoulders overall. So I think that's would be my next step. So I'm going to continue on this a little bit though. See if I can get my shoulders, both of them, feeling just a little bit better. On this set, I don't think you can see it. I think the plate's in the way, but my wrist wrap came off. And kind of was a little distracting, but whatever. I just got to power through that and get the job done. But yeah, that went well. You'll see my chin-ups were kind of so not that good. And I think I'm going to change my approach since I'm not progressing. I've kind of plateaued on it. So what I'm going to do now is going to be a similar approach. So my approach previously, for anybody who happens to be a new viewer, is to keep working until I get 10 reps for 3 sets at that using that band. And once I did that, then I would use a smaller band and keep working until I get to 10 reps for 3 sets. And then once I did that, lower the band eventually until I'm doing them on my own body weight. But I think for me, the reps might be a little too high. So I think I'm going to have like the same approach, but only 3 sets of 5. See how that goes. See if I can progress. I'm doing scapular contractions here because I can't. It's my biceps actually that seems to be the biggest limiting factor here. Like maybe I could do some bicep exercises, but larger biceps, my biceps tend to grow pretty quickly, which is weird because my calves are complete opposite. So if I start training my biceps, I'll get bigger biceps, and that actually gets in the way of my Highland Games throwing, especially the hammer throw. Particularly the hammer throw, if my biceps are too big, it actually I have to change my form a little bit in order to accommodate for the bigger size. So it's actually not a good thing to train my biceps too much. So this was my bicep training essentially. But we'll see how that goes. All right, guys. See ya.